So you can develop resistance to any hormone if it's in excess.
Welcome back to our short series on stress and your health. Here we explore how stress affects our health and, in turn, how our health impacts our lives. Follow along to discover where the power to change your life truly lies.
The brain is not really designed to see these concentrated molecules come in from the outside. It's designed to regulate and understand when you need it and how much. It's a beautifully designed system if we stopped poisoning it with substances in our food, in our environment that throw it off balance.
The clips in this episode come from an extended interview between Judy Cho and Dr. Georgia Eade, where they explored a range of foods and the effects on brain chemistry. Their conversation touched on the effects of supplementing with melatonin. This sparked my own reflections on the significance of this concept, but not just for melatonin, for all instances where the brain regulates hormones. The brain's role in maintaining hormonal balance requires sensing and interpreting the internal and the external environments, responding to cues from both.
You can develop hormone resistance. So you can develop resistance to any hormone if it's in excess. So again, you really want that balance to be determined by your biology. Your biology knows how much you need and when to turn that system on.
The body is a powerful system that adapts its chemistry to the environment it perceives. Imagine if that environment were filled with fear, stress, or distress. How does the body adjust? It modifies its chemistry to suit those conditions. In the same way that consuming external hormones signals the body to adjust or stop producing certain chemicals, similar responses might occur when the brain detects persistent fear or pain. If these negative states become frequent, the body could even develop a kind of resistance.
If you've got this blood sugar and insulin spike that's happening after, let's say you're eating a typical dinner or dessert, but in the evening, you've then put yourself on a glucose and insulin roller coaster for at least 6 hours after that meal, which can eventually lead to big spikes in stress hormone levels, adrenaline and cortisol in particular, which can wake people up in the middle of the night or disrupt normal sleep architecture. People can even wake up feeling hungry. They can wake up feeling shaky. They can just wake up feeling that their mind is racing, or they're obsessing about something and they can't turn their brain off and go to sleep. And that is a very natural and predictable result of having this exaggerated glucose and insulin spike, because that's followed 4 to 5 hours later by an exaggerated spike in adrenaline and cortisol. These are stress hormones that will absolutely cause you to feel overstimulated, and that's not what you want in the middle of the night.
Are we unknowingly creating internal issues? By neglecting the control we have over our thoughts, beliefs, and emotions, we might be fueling a chemical adaptation that becomes resistant to change. Loud, persistent inputs over time could even create forms of internal addiction or resistance.
So there are some studies in the book where I walk people through some of this science so that they can see, a lot of people don't connect how they feel 6 hours, 5, 6 hours after a meal to what they ate 5 or 6 hours before. They think, well, how could that be related to, I ate my dinner at 6 o'clock. Why am I waking up? I went to bed at 10. I fell asleep easily. Why is it that I can't stay asleep through the night? Why is it that I'm having nightmares or disturbing dreams, or that I wake up feeling really, obsessively worried? And it's profoundly biological. The brain is doing what you told it to do, and you just don't realize it.
This clip highlights food's impact. When you consume foods that the brain reads and responds to chemically, especially high glycemic foods before bed, it sets off a chain of chemical reactions that affects the body throughout the night. If that's new information, take a moment to let that settle in. Now consider if, instead of food, it's a fearful thought or reaction entering your body, something that prompts the brain to respond chemically. Unbeknownst to you, something you do, think, or react to could be causing a chemical response in your body. The brain, assessing your environment, signals the need for this response.
Yeah, thanks for mentioning that, Judy, because the CGM is really the most empowering, most instructive, most revolutionary tool we have, not just in general health, but in mental health.
Mhm.
I have yet to have a patient use a CGM and not change their diet. They can see for themselves what's going on. And it's just you can't argue with it. And most people are really, really curious about these patterns, and they get really excited about trying to change them. You can't argue with your own body's chemistry. You can see it for yourself, what's happening, and then you get to decide for yourself, whether that piece of bread was really worth it to you. And
Right.
It's easier to test this with food. You can measure what's eaten and the body's response. We've learned that everything we consume acts as information for the brain, prompting it to respond. But what about the stage of the mind, the internal environment? Negative thoughts, reactions, ideas, and conversations all take their place here, and the brain will react to them, just as it would to any external input, adjusting your body chemistry to match. My primary reason for developing emotional alignment was the need to change the way my brain responded to my thoughts, to free myself from suffering at the hands of my own mind and body. Tracking these reactions in real time can be insightful. Until you recognize what these responses feel like, guidance can be invaluable.
Hello, I'm Joanna Ruth, but you can call me Joanna. I've embraced a carnivore lifestyle increasingly for the past 10 years. Now honing my diet to include meat, seafood, eggs, butter and salt. No plants or dairy anymore for me. With 30 years of experience in education, teaching both adults and children, I've spent the last 20 years developing effective life coaching methods. I now focus on the mental environment as a crucial factor in our health, and I'm excited to share the method of emotional alignment with the carnivore community, another secret weapon to use for our well-being successes.
Was that bread worth it? Was the need to always be right, never be corrected? Was that worth it? The sweet drink, even if it's natural, was it worth it? How about the belief in never being alone? These beliefs and food interact with our world, resulting in what we call an emotional reaction. This reaction is tangible, with effects like a racing heart, really warm or really cold, or altered breathing, visible signs of the brain's chemical response. If you can feel an emotional response in your body, there's likely a chemical reaction that a CGM could track. It could also help reveal how your food choices signal the brain. Ultimately, gathering this data is essential. Understanding what creates different states in the body, deciding which states you want, and finding ways to control what we can. Food is one thing we can control, and through emotional alignment, I can help you address your subconscious beliefs and expectations that might be at odds with your world.
I hope you enjoyed watching this episode. Please subscribe to the channel and email us if you'd like more information about life coaching. Here's a playlist for the entire series. Please like and subscribe. It helps more than you know. See you in the next video.